Hello everyone, V the Amazing Greek here. Today I'm going to be making, I believe what the name of it is a penny top stove. What we're going to do is we're going to take two cans. It can be either, these happen to be 24 ounce cans, but you can get the regular 12 ounce ones if you drink Cokes or whatever. And we're going to cut these cans. We're going to measure and cut. I'll show you how to do that. We're going to poke a few holes around here and a hole here. We'll cut another can and we'll put them together, put some insulation inside and fill it with isopropyl alcohol. I think you can use 75% version. The one I get's like 91%. It's got more alcohol in it. So I just, out of my mind, I wanted to see an easier way. I've made one of these before, and the hardest thing is taking one bottom and setting it with the other and trying to get it to fit together, because what I've done is taken the two of the same can and done that, and it takes a lot of work. What I end up doing most of the time is snipping the bottom one that I'm going to slide over the top of and fold it in just a little bit to get it to set. But tonight I had a couple different cans I've been saving, and I got out the little calipers, and I was just curious if the cans had different diameters, and they do. This is a Budweiser can. It was 2 7/8, but maybe a 32nd less than 7/8. It's just under the 7/8. And then this one was actually to the line on 2 7/8. So it has a larger diameter, just a little bit. So I'm going to use this as my top can when I cut it, and then I'll slip it over this one, and it should be a lot easier than two that are the same diameter. So first thing we'll do is we'll pop our holes. I'll show you how we're going to do that. I just like to do it before I cut these so that the can is stronger and can take me putting the hole in it. So let me show you how we're going to do that. Okay, what I've done is I've taken a Sharpie and put a dot, then just eyeballing it. I'm doing no super precision work here. Put a dot, halfway over put a dot. I did the same thing. Then after you do that, depending on how many holes you want in this, between those four, I'll put one in the middle. Between the two corners again, put one in the middle. Now that gives me, right now I've got 8 holes. And I'm going to put one more set of divisions here. So what I'm doing is I have a dot here and here. There, just right in the middle. About right there. I'm not coming all the way to the top here, because if you sit a little pan or Army canteen cup type thing on top of here, you don't want to put those, you don't want to sit on the flames. You want them to be able to shoot out the sides here when it's lit. You'll see what that looks like when we do that. And I didn't want to go too far down here either, because this is going to slide over the top of this. So when the edges went together, I didn't want them to possibly curl over and clog the holes. So we just get the middle there, middle, between here and here. There we go. Just like that, you just go around. You don't have to be too worried about super precise. There we go. So we got now 16 holes for the flame to come out, and then we'll also need to put one right here. It won't be a big hole. We'll probably use like maybe a 1/4 inch drill bit to do that. Now this thumbtack here, Vonderkopf gave me this. This kind of has a spot to put your thumb. You can hold it like this and put some good pressure. I tried popping holes in here with like a finishing nail, and it was too much force, and I ended up crushing the can, and didn't do no good. So you just take your paper clip. That's what I'm using. You can push it through. Damn. The last one I did was a 12-ounce can. I guess the bottoms of these are a little bit thicker. You gotta put it. There we go. There we go. For me, coming in from the side, I'm able to hold the can steady and not twist in a weird way and then crush my can, which would make it difficult for me to cut later. So the bottoms of these 24s are a little thick. There you go. See, I got the hang of it now. Oh, careful. Alright, so I'm about halfway through. So you continue doing that all the way around. Then I'll show you when we drill that hole out. Okay, I finished making the holes here. I noticed after I push in, when I went to extract the, wow, I cannot think today, the tack, it gripped. So what I did is I put in here and do like this, round out the hole, knock any of the metal when you poke through that's like this, roll it out of the way. That way the fumes and stuff can get out of there good. You know you don't have any blockages. I went around, did that. I think the technical term is waller it out. So I got my safety glasses on, got a 1/4 inch drill bit in here. I'm just going to hold this down. Well, I'll do it since I'm telling you to. Put a leather glove on, that way at least save me a little bit if anything goes wrong. It shouldn't. I'm just going to put a hole right in the center. You don't have to push hard, it'll get itself going. There we go. You got your hole in the bottom, and when this thing is lit, you'll put the penny over here and it helps to regulate or something like that. It regulates pressure or something like that. It'd be a good idea. Von der Kolff, I think, has a video on this. He explains what actually is happening here. I just make the shit. And we'll get to the next step of cutting our lengths. Okay, so the stove that I want to make is going to fit in here, and what I want is it to fit in here when this is closed, so it can fit into my cook set. Everything's right there, and the pennies in there. I can open it up, put the can in there when it's cut to its height, fill it up with fuel, get it going, cook what I want, warm up, drink, whatever. If you drink coffee, anything like that. Now, to do that, what I've got right here to cut my can is I'm cutting to 3/4 of an inch. That's where I'm going to make my cut on my can height. And that's going to, because this right here, when it's closed, it has a height of 1 1/16. So I'm going to cut this at 3/4, and then I'll see where on this can I need to cut to make it that 1 inch height. So what I've got is a razor blade that you put like in a box cutter. I've touched it up a little bit on the stone. I have a piece of metal here that just happens to be 3/4 of an inch thick, so I've clamped my razor blade onto the metal. And what I'll do, let me zoom in so you guys can see what's going on here. I have this angled at such a way that the tip kind of digs into it. I want it to cut be a little rough with it. Otherwise it'll take 1,000 turns. But basically I've got it on a piece of metal so that as I'm cutting everything's even. I put a little bit of pressure. Getting it started. There we go. And you just got to make a bunch. Careful now, because it's raised up metal here. Getting it started takes just a minute to see how you need to position your fingers and stuff. There we go. How much pressure to apply to get it started. And you'll do this 60, 70 rotations, depending on your razor, how hard you're pushing, and all that. So I'm gonna spin, 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 and when I get close to popping through, I'll show you how I get that metal brake started and work my way around to get it off easily. Alright, I just wanted to show you, as I was messing with it, I remembered how I do it a little bit simpler. There's my flat of my metal. See how I've got the blade angled there? What that helps me do is I can sit in here and use that inside length, not just the tip, to get that edge started. And see, I just roll like this. I've got kind of a stop there. Keeps me even. I don't press too hard. And I just thought I'd show you guys that. Alright, so I was spinning it around the blade. Started to cut through. Now what you want to do is, see where it started there? Just work it around like that. The whole point, just trying to keep away from here where it could scissor into your finger or something and just slide. I mean, that's super thin. That's thinner than a razor. So there you go. And there we have our top piece, which will slide over our next can that we cut. We'll figure out the length we need to make it stand 1 inch tall, and that'll be pretty kick-ass. So that's the next step. I'll probably just put the ruler here, mark my 1 inch, figure out how far down this lip will have to be, and then I'll have to cut this bottom piece to go right inside this ridge, and then that'll give me my 1 inch. So I got to cut it to this line minus this, which would equal 1 inch. So I hope I explained that right. I'll show you when I cut it. Okay, so for the bottom piece, you can see I've got a different can. I made a mismeasurement on the other one. I'm going to cut it at 3/4 also, because as I was looking, I made a mark here at 1 inch, and I don't know, I got my math wrong, and as I was twisting it, I was like, wait a minute, now something don't add up. And so basically I measured 1 inch and marked it here, and came down this 1/4 inch that this lip right here has. So once it's all put together, it'll be like 1 inch. And the height really doesn't matter, but since I'm putting it in this stove, that's the only reason it matters. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to twist and cut here, and I'll show you then how I'm going to put these pieces together. Okay, so the cutting's going pretty good. Giving pretty good press. It's not taking as many turns as it usually does. A little more aggressive with the cutting. Now, the Bud Light can was on the smaller side of that 2 7/8, just as the Miller Lite can was. So, now I'm trying to put them together like this, just to get them shaped before I press them together. Because, like I said, we want to put insulation there. One trick that they show is the top piece with your hole, the center hole for your penny, or your slug. I guess you could use a little metal slug. In our holes, what we want to do is like put it over the back side of a can and rotate it and apply a little bit of pressure inward, not too much because it can get stuck, to try to slowly expand that metal out a little bit. You get it, yeah, so it's real easy to get it stuck. See, I got one stuck. Dadgummit. So you got to go slow, not too much pressure. I'm gonna have to put a glove on and pull this off. I don't want to slice my fingers up trying to pull this stupid thing off. But that's what you're supposed to do. Slowly, and then just a little bit of pressure at a time. So let me get this off of here. Alright, so, oops, I bumped it. Alright, so I stretched this out a little bit. It still didn't want to do like it's supposed to, so I'm going to do like I did last time. This little notch right there, you see? It's kind of a straight down and then a 45-degree angle there. That cut. That way, when I press this on, it can give in a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to put some insulation in here. I guess this is to like hold the fuel, kind of act like a Bic lighter. Not a Bic lighter, a Zippo. You know how it has the cotton pad or whatever in there? And this is supposed to act the same way. So, alright, now let's try to put this together. Now my V-cut is right here. So I'm going to start on the back side and come around. Now, then I can push that in. Make sure I got all the other sides in. And I don't want to go too far down on this back side. The further down I go like that, the harder it makes it. To me, this is the toughest part, is getting the stupid thing put together. Making it's easy. It's just, how the hell do I get this to squeeze together, you know? The little metal edges catch on each other. Here we go. Maybe. Come on. Come on. Just come in there. Damn it to hell. There we go. Got one of my edges out over here. Keeps pulling my lip in. Oh man, this pissing me off. Come on now. As soon as I think I got it, another section pops out. Alright, well, I'm going to work on getting this together. As you can see, it's not super simple. I think what I'm going to do is cut a little ridge right here so that I can work it in slowly. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to make a little ramp here. Of course, as always, if anybody's made 15, 20 of these and has a tip, please post it, because any helpful suggestions we appreciate. There we go. Now I'm only gonna press it down to where the edges kind of meet. I don't want them hanging over. Just kind of even. There we go. There we go. Let's see if it fits in here. Fits right in there where we're going to use it. Don't need any extra storage space. We'll fill it up with some isopropyl alcohol, and we'll do a test burn and see how it does. I think I've got my penny in here. Yep, there it is. And see, then this folds up, fits in here with my Ozark Trail. So one of them splitting. How does this work? Oh yeah, you gotta open the knife in the fork. That's right. Shit. It shows how much I've got to use it. That it fits in there. Now if you got you know, knife and fork to cut and shit. So yeah, I forgot. You gotta open up the fork and spoon. Yeah, I haven't got to use it much out in the field. All right, and then I'm gonna fill it up and we'll do a test burn and you can see how it works. All right, so to get this, I had to slowly pour into there. My insulation really compressed. I didn't calculate for that. I might have put just a bit much, but it's a tight wick in there. And then I put my penny on the top. Now, if I remember right, Von der Kolff was telling me you got to put a little bit of fuel or another little fire burning around the edge of this thing to get the fumes going or something, then they'll pop up and start burning out of these little holes. So that's why the lighting looks like this. I'm going to put a little bit of this isopropyl on our test plate here. We'll light it up. See what happens. Probably didn't put enough. Alright, did that go out? Yeah, don't grab that thing. It's probably pretty hot. There we go, like it. I'll pour it on the side of it. That way I know it's going to seep down around it. Let's see how this does. I know it would probably be good for ratings, but I don't want to have a flaming V. Ah, see? There we go. Look right there. It's starting to come out. Look at that. That is so cool. Yeah, that's all of them. All right, come here. I'll give you a better view. Alright. I'm going to turn the light off so you can see it real good. That is so cool. I can't believe I did that. Let me unclamp this razor blade first. I'll open my intestines up. Alright, let's turn this off. That is pretty cool, people. I like that. Now you put that inside that stove, you won't have a problem boiling a cup of water, I'm pretty sure. That's got to be pretty hot. Oh yeah, that's putting off a lot of heat. Now, what I should have done, and I don't have it, oh yeah, I got one over here, a can that maybe is a little bit larger diameter than your soda can or beer can, so that when you want to put it out, we can just suffocate it, you know. I got one that's a little bit oversized, but now see, we need to cut us a little can lid, maybe just a little bit taller than this, and then we can suffocate it. There we go. Alright, let me turn the lights on, people. No major injury. So that was pretty cool. See, I just covered it up. Just sitting in the hot. Went out, we did what we wanted. So that was pretty badass. I like that. So I'm V the Amazing Greek. That's how you make that. If you want to understand the principles of what's going on there, check out Von der Kolff or look up penny top stove maybe. Like I said, slowly pour your fuel in there to get the wick all filled up, the insulation. And what seemed to work for me to get it going, instead of pouring it around the base, pour it down right around here, the side, let it seep around and get a little bit in here, and that thing took off awesome. So I like that. That's a neat stove. Like I said, it'll fit in here, and I'm guessing that being in that insulation now, you don't have fuel sloshing around. It'll stay in there. I'm guessing that's the hope. We'll find out. I'll have to do some tests. We'll do some boiling tests with this and see how long it takes us to get a cup of water going for ramen noodles, and we'll put that on another video. So I hope this helps somebody out. Pretty simple. I hope I didn't make it too complicated. Thank you for watching.